I completely obliterated my daughter during her baseball game. Now she's crying. My wife ambushed me after only 1 cup of coffee this morning. We're doing a charity baseball game this Saturday. Parents and kids play together. I already signed us up. Our daughter Viola has cystic fibrosis, a lung condition that's kept her in and out of hospitals her whole life. But this past year, she's been wanting to prove to everyone she's not made of glass. She'd been begging to do something more physical. So when my wife said the game was raising money for the children's hospital, I was genuinely excited. Quality time with my 2 favorite girls sounded like the perfect day. Sounds fun, I told my wife. She gave me a wicked smile. It will be. Saturday morning, we pulled into the parking lot and I realized my wife had undersold this event by 300%. There were actual bleachers, vendors selling hot dogs, a full announcer's booth. My wife spotted my face and laughed. The organizer handed me a blue jersey. My wife and Viola got red ones. It's boys versus girls. Dads and sons on blue team. Moms and daughters on red. My wife cracked her knuckles. This is war. We're no longer family, only rivals. Viola pointed at me. You better watch your butt, Dad. I walked to my team expecting casual warm-up stretches. These dads were doing full sprints. One guy was practicing pitcher drills like he was auditioning for the majors. A dad wearing a headband told me he'd been training for 2 weeks. I looked at the girls' team. One mom was braiding her daughter's hair. A group of moms were laughing at someone's phone. And one girl, maybe 10, was sitting cross-legged drawing smiley faces on baseballs with a marker. I suggested to headband dad that maybe we take it easy on them. He looked at me like I'd insulted his mother. My daughter said I threw like a grandma last week. Today we prove a point. The game started. The girl with the markers took the mound. She wound up, threw, and the ball screamed past our first batter before he lifted his bat. One strike after another zipped past him. He walked back looking like he'd seen a ghost. When it was my turn, I saw one of her smiley faces staring at me from the ball in her glove. Good luck, Mr. Viola's dad, she said sweetly. 3 pitches later, I walked back having hit nothing but air. I think my dignity also got left behind at the plate. Then we switched, and holy fudgesicle these girls could hit. By the 5th inning, we were losing 12-2. Finally, I got called to pitch. My daughter Viola walked toward home plate with her red helmet on, grinning. Don't be scared, Dad. I threw a slow toss. She swung early and missed by a foot. Strike 1. I threw another soft one. She missed so hard she spun halfway around. I had to hide my laugh behind my glove. Strike 2. Then, my wife yelled from the dugout, "Throw a real one, you coward!" Viola looked at me and nodded like she agreed. Fine. I wound up and threw something with actual speed. Not my hardest, but real. Viola's eyes went wide. She swung early, stumbled backward trying to adjust, twisted and cracked herself in the shin with her own bat. She went down face first. The field erupted. My wife sprinted from the dugout. Other parents came running over. I stood frozen while a crowd formed around my daughter. The mom of the booger picker kid looked at me with an expression that could melt steel. What were you thinking? She's a child. You threw that way too hard. Other parents stared. A dad muttered something about how I should have known better. I opened my mouth to explain, but nobody was listening. They were all focused on Viola, still on the ground, and I stood there alone like the monster who'd hurt his own sick kid at a charity event. Headband dad patted my shoulder with pity. That's rough, buddy. Then Viola sat up. She had tears streaming down her face, but she wiped them away with the back of her hand and pushed herself to her feet. I'm fine. That was my fault. Can I try again? The relief almost knocked me over. The crowd awkwardly dispersed. My wife shot me one more look, but I caught the tiniest wink before she jogged back to the dugout. Her expression softened when Viola marched back to home plate demanding another chance at bat. The organizer allowed it. I threw another real pitch because Viola screamed, "Don't you dare go easy on me!" She fouled it off into the stands. Progress. The girls won 14-5. After the game, my wife walked over while I was packing up. I braced for a lecture. Instead, she kissed my cheek.